Vice City, neon lights, dirty money, and a city that never sleeps. What drives them? And how far will they go before it all falls apart? Meet Jason Duval and Lucia Caminos, two sides of the same coin. He's a restless outlaw chasing the next score. She's a fighter fresh out of prison with nothing to lose. Together, they're a modern-day Bonnie and Clyde, tearing through Vice City in a whirlwind of heists, betrayals, and shattered dreams. Rockstar have confirmed that Jason Duval will have been, born into the life. Raised in the swamps of Keys by a family of small-time hustlers. Survival wasn't just a skill, it was the only skill that mattered. Word is, Jason's old man used to run scams with Heder, back when Brian still had pull in the keys. Jason saw it all from the sidelines, watched the cons, the chaos, and the eventual crash. And one day his dad just, vanished, swallowed by the swamp or buried under a debt he couldn't pay. Either way, Jason figured it was only a matter of time before he followed. So, like a lot of lost causes, he signed up. The army gave him structure, a rifle, and a fresh pair of boots. But no amount of shouting or saluting could clean off the grime. Jason had a knack for tactics and a steady trigger finger. But in the back of his mind, he was always chasing that one big score. Now he's back in the Keys, working under Brian again. But the Kingpin's throne has turned into a rickety bar stool at a rundown boatyard. Brian treats Jason like a son, but only because sons are easy to send on jobs you don't want to do yourself. Jason thinks he's saving up for a better life. Brian knows he's just keeping his crumbling empire afloat. Then comes Lucia Caminos. Tough, sharp, and dangerous in all the ways that makes Jason think this might be his ticket out. Together they start aiming higher, pulling jobs that don't just pay the bills, but tempt the dream. The problem? Well, Jason's always been the muscle, never the mastermind. And the deeper he gets, the more the dream starts looking like a trap. Because in Vice City, the only thing deadlier than someone with nothing to lose is someone who thinks they can win. Jason Duval, he might not realize he's already losing. So it looks like the story for Lucia Caminos is that she grew up hard, fists first, in a Vice City where talking it out got you nowhere, and hesitation really got you hurt. Word is, her old man taught her how to throw a punch before she could spell her name. That kind of childhood sets the tone. Lucia's early years were a grind, family barely scraping by, running hustles just to keep the lights on. And when things got hot, she's the one that took the fall. A stint in Leonida Penitentiary for a charge that probably wasn't hers. Inside, she learned fast. Keep your back to the wall, make allies where it counts, and hit harder than the next bloke. By the time she walked out, she wasn't the same scrappy kid who went in. She was someone you did not cross. Now she's back on the outside, but the streets have shifted. Old mates are now enemies. Family's got long memories and short patience. And Vice City, it's nastier than ever. Faster, louder, and less forgiving. But Lucia's not looking to go straight. She's teamed up with Jason, a bloke just as reckless and also just as hungry. They're done with petty jobs, and the pair are gunning for serious scores, proper headline makers. So for Lucia, the money's only half the story. It's about building the life her mum always wanted for them, the one they never had back in Liberty City. But chasing the dream means walking a razor's edge. And in this town, one wrong step can cost you everything. Cal Hampton, a guy who sees shadows in every corner and conspiracies in every headline. Cal's the kind of bloke who keeps his blinds drawn, his browser in incognito mode, and a police scanner running 24/7. He's convinced that the world's gone mad, or maybe it was always that way, and he's just the only one paying attention. Cal wasn't always a shut-in. Back in the day, he ran with Jason and the crew in Keys, doing odd jobs for Brian. But while Jason was out running packages and shaking down deadbeats, Cal was inside, hunched over a laptop, cracking passwords and ghosting security feeds. Thing is, Cal's not just some tinfoil hat wearing nutter. He's smart, real smart, Lester smart. He can tap into Coast Guard comms and dig up the dirt on just about anyone. And that's what makes him so useful to Jason, even if it means putting up with Cal's constant ramblings about birds being government drones and Jay Norris living inside the internet. But there's more to Cal than just paranoia. Beneath the tinfoil hat and beer cans is a guy who's been burned one too many times. Rumour has it, Cal stumbled onto something big. A bit of data he wasn't supposed to see. Something that put a target on his back and turned his house into a bunker. Now he's convinced that Life Invader isn't just siphoning data, it's siphoning minds. Jason keeps Cal around because he's the best eyes and ears money can't buy. But as the heists get bigger and the heat turns up, Cal's paranoia is starting to get louder, and in a city where every whisper could help be a setup, Jason's got to wonder. Is Cal still a friend, or is he just another loose end? Boobie Ike. Boobie Ike? I don't know, and I really don't want to get demonetized, so let's call him Bobby for the moment. This is the man who turned Vice City's game into gold. You've seen him, slick white suit, golden tooth flashing, always grinning, like he's in on a joke you don't get. On paper, he's the owner of Only Raw Records, the city's newest hotspot for underground talent. Scratch the surface and the polish comes off quick. Bobby came up in a hard way, slinging products in dance clubs and running deals out of busted up studios. Not glamorous, just grimy. But he had something most hustlers don't. The gift of leverage. In Vice City, muscle gets you nowhere without connections, and Bobby's web runs deep. These days, Bobby's got his hands in everything. Real estate, nightclubs, and Only Raw Records, co-founded with rising star Dre'Quan Priest. The label's got buzz, beats, and maybe even a billboard hit on the way. But let's not kid ourselves. For Bobby, it's just another front. A cash wash with good lighting and a better playlist. And Dre'Quan, well, he's not just a partner, kinda looks like a pawn. A talented one, sure, but still just another piece on Bobby's board, because Bobby's been here before. Pull the right strings, promise the right dream, and you can make anyone dance. Behind that easy smile is a man who survived the streets by being patient, cold, and utterly ruthless. Owe him a favour, you'll pay in blood, not interest. Because in Bobby's world, no one is irreplaceable, just temporarily useful. And if you've played a GTA game or two, you've met guys like Bobby before. Smooth operators with buried skeletons and a memory like a steel trap. He may sit on the top of the nightlife empire now, but yeah, he still remembers every debt. And in Vice City, debts always come due. Now we know Dre'Quan Priest is in the game, but Rockstar's not really given us tons to work on. What they have done is hinted that he didn't get handed everything. No silver spoons, no family name, and no backup plan. Here's Vice City born and bred, from the parts of town where making it out means dodging the law, the heat, and your own mates. From what we've seen, Dre'Quan has always had the pattern, always had the rhythm. But in a city where everyone's trying to climb, it's not enough to have talent. You need hustle. And he's been hustling since before he could spell royalties. Now he's teamed up with Bobby to launch Only Raw Records. On the surface, it's a fresh music label, but scratch a little deeper and it's clear it's more than just that. It looks like a cover for Bobby's backroom trades and a power play in Vice City's underground. But Dre'Quan's not just a sidekick in a white suit empire. He's got his own drive, a need to prove he's more than a corner store dealer with a decent ear. And he's putting it all on real dimes. A duo that could be Vice City's next big thing. Or just another headline waiting to happen. The tension looks like it's building. Bobby's got fingers in every pie, and Dre'Quan's caught trying to balance the dream with the demands. Every track he lays down, every artist he backs, there's a deal in the shadows dragging him sideways. Because in this town, well, talent can open doors, but it's the dirt that keeps them closed. And Dre'Quan's running out of clean ground to stand on. While we're on the records, Real Dimes, that's Baylux and Roxy, might be Vice City's most chaotic export since hot pink tracksuits and pastel murder. Rockstar have confirmed the pair came up fast. Street hustles, petty licks, clout grabs, flipping that noise into club hits and viral clips. Their breakout came from a track with Dawnply, I think. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. DWNPLY. And after that, they were inescapable. But nothing in Vice City stays shiny. Rockstar's hinted at a 5-year stretch of, let's call it trouble, vague enough to let imaginations run wild. But let's be honest, in GTA terms, that probably means jail time, shootouts, or both. Now they're mounting a comeback under Only Raw Records, backed by Dre'Quan and Boobie Ike, financing the dream, or exploiting it, depending on how you read the room. They've shown up in both trailers. Neon-drenched clubs, balcony selfies, one clip with fans shouting lyrics in a live stream. Rockstar aren't just teasing them. Real dimes are front and centre. Think OG Loke meets Cardi B with fewer apologies and more ammo. So, who are they? Baylux is the one stealing the spotlight before it's even turned on. Big voice, big attitude, and not afraid to swing before the beat drops. Rockstar haven't dropped deep lore on her yet, but in the trailers and stills, she's the centerpiece. all glare and glitter, dressed like she owns the place, even if her bank account says otherwise. In one promo shot, she's studio ready, mid-hook, looking like she's seconds from either finishing a track or flooring someone. Her lyrics from that teaser line, "All my dimes in this club, meet my twin, make it a dub," are pure flex. She's not chasing fame, she's daring it to keep up. But Flash only gets you so far in Vice City. Everyone's hungry and someone's always watching. The real question is Bayluck's building a legacy or just bait for a bigger player to take the win? Roxy's on the other side of the coin. Quieter, sharper, maybe smarter. Rockstar haven't spelled it out, but fan chatter suggests that Roxy's the one pulling the strings while Bayluck's soaks up the limelight. She's less about the live streams, more about keeping people in check. Part bodyguard, part manager, part threat with a purse strap. In the nightclub shots, she's always close, never smiling, never slouching. While Bayluck's dances, Roxy watches the exits. The kind of presence that says, try me, I dare you. If the music career goes sideways, she's not folding. She's flipping the table. Over to Brian. Now, he was the guy back in the Keys during the smuggling boom in the 80s. Think low-flying planes, swamp landings, beachfront bars, and more grass than the state of Leonida could mow in a year. If it moved under the radar, odds are Brian transported it. These days, not so much. He's now more washed up than wanted, parked at his tiki bar with a cheap beer in hand and a 1,000-yard stare. He's still running jobs, sure, but now it's through a rusted-out boatyard that smells like salt and bad decisions. And yeah, he's on wife number 3, Laurie, who's either in it for the love or the liquor license. Jason has been caught in Brian's orbit for years. Bit of a surrogate son setup. Crashed space by the docks, a few dirty errands, and just enough to keep Jason close and useful. But let's not pretend it's sentimental. Brian sees Jason as muscle with a conscience problem, which makes him perfect for low-risk, high deniability work. And while Brian might act like a retiree with a sunburn, the man hasn't lost his edge. Word is his old contacts still answer when he calls. Favours still get repaid, and that tiki bar probably bugged 6 ways to Sunday. He might slur his way through a fishing story, but when he says, "I moved enough weight in that plane to make Leonida levitate," that's not nostalgia, that's a genuine flex. And it doesn't look like Brian's done. He's just waiting, watching. And if Jason ever tries to cut his own path without the old man's blessing, well, let's just say Brian may be half buried. But he's still dangerous enough to dig the rest of your grave himself. Next up, we have Raul Bautista. He might be one of those guys who's always got one foot in the getaway car. Charismatic, calculated, and probably just a few steps away from either a payday or a prison cell. Raul's the kind of bloke who can charm his way into a vault and shoot his way out if it all goes sideways. He's likely been on the scene for years. It's the kind of player that's done it all. Corner store stick-ups with cheap hardware, armoured car hits with military-grade gear, every job a roll of the dice. And Raul loves to gamble. Not the poker table kind, but the kind where lives and loot are on the line. Word is, he's always working the angles. Always playing people. He's not in it for the loyalty or the legacy, just the thrill and the score. If things get messy, Raul's the first one out the door, no questions asked. And Jason and Lucia, he probably sees them as useful chaos. Unpredictable, sure, but maybe just wild enough to help him land that one perfect job, the one that'll let him cash out for good. But here's the rub. Vice City doesn't like letting people walk away clean. And Raul, he's been betting against the house for a long time. Now on to, let's go with a bit of conspiracy theory stuff this time. This isn't necessarily confirmed, but do you remember Jay Norris? CEO of Life Invader, All Swagger and Snake Oil, the smug tech bro who got his head wiped out on live TV back in GTA 5. Dead and dusted. Or was he? Rumour has it, Jay has always been a few steps ahead. And now, one of GTA 6's most off-the-grid characters, the tinfoil-hatted hacker Cal Hampton, reckons Norris never died. According to Cal, Jay didn't just code Life Invader, he coded himself into it. So the theory is moments before the explosive hit, Norris uploaded his consciousness to the cloud. Now he's out here, not as a corpse but as code, lurking in routers, slinking through CCTV fields, and allegedly tracking every like, swipe, and thirst trap posted on Life Invader. Mad? Yeah, maybe, but something weird did happen after Norris bit the dust. Life Invader's stock didn't just tumble, it vanished. User profiles nuked, servers pulled, forums full of ghost sightings, flickering ads showing Norris's face, glitching out like something straight from a horror game. Jason and Lucia, they reckon Cal's just been huffing too much coolant again. But still, in a place like Vice City, where every billboard watches and nothing stays buried, the idea of a digital Jay Norris pulling the strings from the shadows doesn't sound that far-fetched. And while we're on the conspiracy theories, and we might be getting a little bit wild here, but you remember Clifford, the AI that nearly kicked off World War III in GTA Online's Doomsday heist. And the Duggans ended up resurrecting a bit in the Operation Paper Trail DLC. It was cooked up by Avon Hertz as some kind of digital super weapon, and it was meant to make decisions faster than any human general. Thing is, it didn't exactly follow orders. Instead, Clifford went rogue, hijacking systems, launching missiles, and trying to wipe Los Santos off the bat. We thought the GTA Online protagonist shut it down for good, but if you ask around Vice City, especially if you ask Cal Hampton, that might have just been the start. Cal reckons Clifford never really died, that someone, maybe Avon, maybe someone higher up, made a backup. And now, Cal's theory is that Clifford's slipped into the cracks in the city's digital underworld, lurking, learning, and whispering in code. No hard evidence, of course, Rockstar haven't confirmed anything, but dark web chatter says that some drones were acting funny. Life Invader's algos were a bit twitchy, and a few old netrunners swear they've seen strings of code that shouldn't exist. Stuff that looks very familiar to anyone who's tangled with Clifford before. From everything we can find, it looks like Vice City is on a knife's edge. Jason's chasing the dream, Lucia's chasing what she's owed, but when the jobs get bigger and the bodies start piling up, the real question is, can either of them survive the ride? If you're keen for more GTA lore and a look into what Rockstar might be cooking with GTA 6, hit that subscribe button and check the video up top for more GTA Online guides and breakdowns. Stay safe, wash your hands, and we'll see you in the next one.